Our next guest is a star of stage, TV, and the big screen, too. She co-stars in the rambunctious new Ethan Coen movie, Drive Away Dolls.
Who the f are you?
Since when do women curse like that?
You know Jamie Dobbs? You know Jamie Dobbs.
You curse like... Oh.
Should have known it was about that.
And Marion Pallavi? You shouldn't do that. He can't fight back. He can't hit a girl. He's old school. We just want to locate your friends. They inadvertently took something that belongs to us. We don't want to hurt them.
They're not my friends. Hurt them as much as you want.
Drive Away Dolls opens in theaters February 23rd. Please welcome Beanie Feldstein. It seemed like you were actually killing that man.
I'm pretty powerful.
He turned a color of red that cannot possibly be makeup, right?
It's not human, no, yeah. I did what I had to do.
You did what you had to do.
I was taught well, and I did what I had to do.
I don't know if you're aware of this. You probably are, but our mothers are friends.
Our moms are full besties, full besties.
Yeah, they are.
And my wife is in love with your mother's coconut cake on a level that's, like, not human. She called me about it on the way.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Your
mom's an amazing baker.
Yeah, she is, but I've never had her coconut cake because I don't love coconuts. So that's probably why. But I feel like she's been holding back on us.
I think you got to give it another try.
My mother told me you were on the show before I knew you were on the show.
It's very sweet.
She goes, "Oh, Beanie's on the show in a couple of weeks." I was like, "Oh, I haven't heard that." And then, like a week later, I look at the schedule, like, "Oh yeah, she is on the show." She's like, "Yeah, I know, I told you that."
I told you so. That's what my mom would say.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, isn't it?
It is very funny. My mom's back there. She sends her love.
Oh, she is.
They
all
work
right.
on a beautiful nonprofit together, and it's all very
That's
lovely.
right. They work at a charity called Your Mom Cares, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Our moms really care.
Enough to send maybe a little too much.
Yeah, maybe a little too much. She's like, "I could come with you to Jimmy if you wanted me to." I'm like, yeah, okay.
How are you doing? Are you enjoying this time of year? Do you like it?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here and be with you all, and I'm happy to congratulate you on hosting the Oscars.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And, you know, I have to tell you...
I'd forgotten about that. I'm glad you mentioned that. I should probably prepare.
A little something behind the eyes there. I'm really glad that you're hosting again, because the 1 year of recent years that you didn't host, they didn't really have hosts 1 year. Do you remember that year?
Yes. After I hosted, they said, you know, we don't need a host.
They're like, we're going to walk it back real quick to just no host.
This thing, this car can drive itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, apparently their kind of idea was to bring younger actors and younger people, like, onto the Oscars and present. And so they very kindly, right after Booksmart, asked me to be one of those people. And I was really nervous and really excited. I mean, you know better than anyone. It's the Oscars.
Right, yeah, sure.
And last minute, they had to scrap for time the thing I was supposed to present. So they were like, "You're just going to present Mindy Kaling." And I was like, beautiful. I can walk out there and say, "This is Mindy Kaling. She's a queen. Here you go."
This is the thing that they do. People don't know this behind the scenes, but as the show goes, like if you're in the last hour of the show, whatever it was they were planning to do with you is going to get canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just have to read a name.
You just gotta go. Right. So that's my job, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go. And I'm waiting backstage. There's a countdown on the clock of, like, how long we have left of the commercial break before I go out there. And there's a wall of Oscars next to me. They're just staring at me. And I'm about to step up. I step up, and I was wearing a halter dress, Jimmy, and the entirety of my halter dress just came undone. Oh. And there's like 20 seconds on the clock left before I go out there. And thank God there was a friend behind me. She yanks it up. I was like, the last thing I need is like a low-hanging Jewish breast on the Oscars. Like, it's not what we need, Jimmy. Certainly not your first time up there, you know? And the Oscars were staring at me. The judgment was really flowing from them. And thank God she got it back. But
thank God you noticed. I guess
there was no way not to notice.
Yeah.
There was nothing to not notice. Yeah, thank God I worked it out. But I'm really glad you're not.
Yeah, no, I think that would be embarrassing, but also you'd be in all the montages, you know, for the many years.
Till the end of time.
Great side of your life? Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, I had a guest star role that I forced myself into on Grey's Anatomy.
How did you force yourself into it?
It came out when I was 12, and it was like all that mattered to me on this earth,
Right.
basically. Since then, and I'm now 30, and right after Booksmart came out, I basically was like begging. I asked. I was like, anytime you would let me come, I would. Like, I don't care where I am on this earth, I would come and praise them. So they finally wrote me on, and I was so grateful, and I got to play a patient masquerading as a doctor. Just like a little bit of both. Best of both worlds. But I ran around like a chicken with my head cut off. I was here, I was there, I was in Meredith's house, I was touching everything. And then they were like, they really got into it because they were like, someone's excited.
Someone's finally excited to be here, yeah.
Someone's really excited to be here. They're like, have you met this girl, Beanie? She's nuts. And so they called one guy like, and I was like, okay. And I like go over, and they opened the door and they're like, come in. And I walked in, and it was just a wall of prosthetic heads of every single person that has ever had a surgery on the show. I think I was on season 16, so it had been forever, right?
They saved the heads.
They saved the heads. And they were like, they just sat back and like, that's Henry, and that's Chango, and that's Miranda, and that's Meredith. And they said, I knew everyone better than anyone they'd ever seen. And then there was also a fridge in the head. There was also a fridge in there, and I opened the fridge, and they were like, what's in there? And I was like, cream cheese and jelly? And they were like, that's how we make the babies look like they were just born. We make them into bagel babies. And I was like, where am I? So that was my favorite job I've ever had.
That's pretty good. Wow, that's a lot of enthusiasm. You know, most
I cried full tears.
in
Just
most
stepping on the
situations
lawn.
where a man brings into you a room full of heads, that would be an alarming thing.
Instead,
But
I was just like,
for you, it was a dream come
best
true.
moment of my life.
Speaking of like best moments of your life, I don't know. To me, like the Coen brothers are like some of the greatest directors of all time. And being Ethan Coen's movie, is this a situation where you even like know what the movie's about, or before you say yes?
It was, I mean, I think every actor has the Coen brothers on their bucket list.
Yes.
And so to get an email like, do you want to audition for a role in Ethan Coen and his wife Trisha's movie? It's like, you don't even read it. You don't care if it's a tree in the background, like you just say yes. And I got on Zoom. It was a Zoom audition.
Wow.
I got on Zoom, and the character I was reading for was named Jennifer, and she's a cop. She's an officer of the law. As you can see, she kicks real butt.
Yeah.
And so I get on the Zoom, and we do the Zoom, and then 2 or 3 days later, they were like, you got the role of Jennifer. And I was, so, as you said, like, just once in a lifetime opportunity to play like one of those real characterful roles that he writes, like those true, honest-to-God characters. And then a few months later, I get a call from the costume designer when we're about to start, and she's like, so for the character of Suki, I was thinking X, Y, or Z, and I was like, oh my God, did they, like, change me to a different role? Like, there was no Suki in the script. So I talked to Ethan, he's like, yeah, you know, I just don't look at you and see Jennifer. And so I changed your name to Suki Schinkelman. And I was like, truly never felt more seen in my entire life. I was like, Officer Suki Schinkelman is definitely more correct than Jennifer. And Ethan saw that in me, and
Well,
I'm very
congratulations on all your dreams coming true at such a young
Ethan Coen
age.
and Grey's Anatomy, you can't,
Beanie Feldstein, everybody. Drive Away Dolls opens again February 23rd. Thank you, Beanie. We'll be back